Let's see the next topic, that is for the quality of the water. So the water has some basic characteristics and we can group these characteristics as physical, then chemical, and then microscopical. And the water which would be suitable for human consumption and other usage, it should have the desirable value of these parameters. So some parameters are there which are used to find out the quality of the water, and these parameters we can group in physical, chemical, and microscopical characteristics. So we have to understand these parameters here. So let's begin with physical characteristics or physical parameters. So first physical parameter what we have is turbidity of water. So turbidity means that simply the water loses its transparency. And why does it lose it? So if some clay material is there or some silt is there, so because of that it will become turbid and it will not be transparent. So this kind of water is not suitable for consumption, or it does not look aesthetic if it is not harmful then also. So that's why turbidity should be as low as possible. Now how this turbidity is measured? So for that we have some older or conventional methods, or we call them as optical methods, and we have then some modern methods as well. So first let's see these optical or conventional methods. So in that we have turbidity rod, then we have the Jackson's turbidity meter, and after that we have Bailey's turbidity meter. So the unit how these instruments measure the turbidity. So the standard unit what we use for these instruments, the standard unit is given by, you take 1 milligram of finely divided silica and you mix it with 1 liter of distilled water. That will give you 1 unit of turbidity, or the one standard unit of turbidity. So all these three instruments use this silica turbidity units, whereas the modern turbidity meters uses different unit. So let's see here first these methods. So let's see turbidity rod first. So this is the easiest and field method, others are lab method. So in this what we do, we have a instrument called turbidity rod, that is simply a scale and which is graduated. So these graduations are there, and these graduations are directly related to the this standard unit of turbidity. So if you can measure the graduations, it will directly indicate the turbidity. So here there is a platinum needle and it is attached with the help of a nickel ring. And how do we measure the turbidity here? So you will take a sample of turbid water and then you submerge or insert this turbidity rod inside that sample. Here one tape is attached and there is a mark for eye position. Now you keep the eye on this mark and you keep on inserting the rod. At one point there will be a situation that you cannot see this needle from this position here. So at that point the depth of this rod gives directly the turbidity. So that is the easiest method to measure the turbidity in the field. After that the next method we have is Jackson's turbidity meter. So this measures the turbidity in Jackson's turbidity unit, or JTU. So JTU is related to your silica units, the standard unit what we just saw. So how do we measure the turbidity here? So here this candle is placed here below this instrument or tripod, and here there will be a hole or glass so that this flame can pass through, and here we keep a glass tube, and initially there is no water in this glass tube. So you can, if you keep your eye here, so you can directly see the flame of this candle. Now how do we measure the turbidity? Here we will start to fill the turbid water. Now at one point, as we keep on filling this water, there will be a situation when this flame of the candle is not visible. Let's say up to this depth, the flame, before this depth the flame was visible, but at this depth the flame has stopped being visible. So this depth or height of the water in this tube, it gives the turbidity. So standard measurements are made and those are given. So if it is 200, I mean if the height is 10.8 centimeter, if this height here is 10.8 centimeter, so it is correspondingly equal to 200 JTU, 200 Jackson's turbidity unit. If this height is 21.5 centimeter, then it is equal to 100 JTU, and if this height is 72.9 centimeter, then it is equal to 25 JTU. And this instrument cannot measure the turbidity below 25 units, that is 25 milligram per liter. So it is useful for greater than 25 or 25 to 1000 milligrams per liter. So this turbidity is, this range of turbidity will be there for muddy water. The turbidity for drinking water will be very less, at least it will be less than this 25. So this instrument cannot be used to measure the turbidity of the drinking water. So we have next instrument, that is Bailey's turbidity meter. So how do we measure the turbidity here? Here we compare the two samples. So we have two samples. One will be of known turbidity or known standard units. The units we have seen, the silica units. One sample we will make with different value of these concentrations or different value of these units, and other will be our actual sample for which we want to know the turbidity. Now what happens here, we keep these two samples side by side and we place them in this blue cobalt glass plates. So here what will happen, this, as you turn on the bulb, this blue cobalt glass will light up, and because of this blue color, this water will also turn blue. Now you can compare the blue color of these two rods or the two tubes. So you can compare and tell that if the turbidity or the blue color in the both the tubes is same or not. If it is not same, you can bring another tube of standard unit and you can compare it with the sample. So here by comparison we can see that if the turbidity is matching or not. As it match, then we get our turbidity using this sample. So it can measure between 0 to 10 milligram per liter. So it can be used for drinking water purpose as well. So this is about the conventional methods. So in conventional method, the one thing that you should observe is that, let's say in this Jackson's turbidity meter, what we are doing, this light of the candle is going in this direction. That is, the direction of light is in upward direction and our measurement is also parallel to this direction. So we are going in the same direction. Our measurement and the light directions are same or in one line. In this case as well, Bailey's turbidity meter, here this blue color is going in upward direction because we are seeing this blue color and we are measuring from here. So these are also in the same line. In the turbidity rod as well, these both will be in the same lines, and that is the difference between modern turbidity meter and older or the conventional turbidity meter. Here we measure the turbidity. So here this light is going in this direction, but we measure it in 90 at 90-degree angle to the incident light. That is, here we are measuring the scattered light, where in the last observation we were observing this direct light which was going in the same direction from the source or line of the source. So these are the modern turbidity meters. They work on this kind of principles. So these turbidity meters are called as nephelometers, and we measure the turbidity in NTU, that is nephelometric turbidity units. So these can also measure the very low turbidity which is there. These can measure below 1 unit also. But here the unit is different. Here we are not using silica unit because silica unit is applicable when we are going in this direction, that is the light direction of light and our observation are in same line. That was used for silica units. So there is no correlation between this scattered light and this direct light. So for this the different units are used and we can group them as nephelometric turbidity units. And sometimes if formazine polymer is used, formazine polymer, so with that these units are called FTU or formazine turbidity unit. So in formazine turbidity units also we measure the scattered light, but how we measure, in here the photometers are there for this measurement. So the way of measuring for this formazine polymer and for this nephelometric turbidity units, that is different. So if you are asked about the modern turbidity meter, so the preference should be for this NTU. So that is about the turbidity meters. So I leave you with one question, that is I'll give the link on the top right corner, that what source will have the maximum turbidity.